Palestine, the land of the poem, Palestinians, the poetry of the land. If asked to identify where Palestine is on a map, could you find it? Here it is. Let's take a closer look. With the Mediterranean Sea to the west, Palestine is in a small but prime location for trade, commerce, and travel. However, Palestine itself is much more complicated than this map leads on. Palestine was used as a crossroads of the world, where people would meet, learn, trade goods, languages, and religions, as shown in the trade diagram presented. It was the birthplace of the three Abrahamic faiths: Christianity, Islam, and Judaism. Though broken into a class structure like most of the world, Palestinian society was an overall collective culture, meaning everyone helps everyone else in the village. The land preserved their ancient customs and is still a very important part of their culture. Palestinians signify themselves as one with the land. However, today, Palestinians are left with no land to call their own, leaving many no choice but to leave their homes behind or continue to fight for what was once theirs for over 4,000 years. The Balfour Declaration, put into effect in 1917, was penned by British parliamentarians in order to appease the growing Zionist party. This resulted in the dominance of Zionism in Palestine by allowing them to establish an Israeli nation-state. The document forced Palestinians to confide to Israeli forces or flee the only home they ever knew. The confusing language of the document, such as, quote, clearly understood that nothing shall be done which may prejudice the civil and religious rights of existing non-Jewish communities in Palestine, end quote, left many wondering what this document was really about. Seeing that the British was trying to allude to all parties involved, no clear solution was actually presented in the 50-word paragraph. This has now left Palestine in a 70-year state of unknown and oppression. Nakba, which translates to catastrophe, is used to refer to the intergenerational trauma still affecting Palestinians today, whereby 750,000 Palestinians were moved from their ancient homeland by violent force in the hands of Zionists backed by the United Kingdom and the United States. This diagram shows the removal and takeover of Palestinian land to Israeli territory. Environment issues. Palestine was known as the land of milk and honey, and it was once a flourishing paradise. Now it is poisoned, nearly a wasteland, by the Israelis due to their shelling and airstrikes of the land and dumping raw sewage and other harmful contagions in the rivers. The Israelis have even covered and locked up the wells that Palestinians need for access to clean water, effectively controlling all water supplies. Economic issues. Today, with the Israeli Defense Force occupancy on the rise in Palestinian boards, a barrier has been formed which created severe limitations on the rise or success of the economic policies in Palestine. With land, air, and sea blockades and regulations put into place on fishing and cattle, Palestinian people are left with little to no hope in being able to take care of and provide for their families. As shown, a complex web of checkpoints and roadblocks make it difficult for Palestinians to travel within their own territories due to the Israeli Defense Force. Human rights issues. Today, Palestinians are forced to use a different colored passport than the Israeli people. They are also designated a different colored license plate in an attempt by the Israeli Defense Force to single them out and delay their travels to and from work inside Palestinian walls and out. Palestinians are being treated and handled as less than for no legal or factual reasons that are completely outside of their control. Some possible solutions to the 70-year past-to-present problem include, but are not limited to, a one-state solution for Israelis and Palestinians together, a so-called two-state solution that poses even more unanswerable questions, or even confederation or annexation by Jordan. Thank you for viewing our Palestine and Palestinian presentation. We hope we were able to shine a well-needed light on the topic and issues of Palestine. This was completed by Professor Rabb's class, which includes those listed. Thank you again, and stay well.